Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Hey planner friends, oh my gosh, it's cold in here, so we're gonna do this fast anyway because this is the time that I have to film it. All right, here is my tiny little planner pile. I'm not including my writing planner in here because it's just not that serious. I'm just planning ahead a couple of days, sometimes what I hope is gonna happen in the week. So I have slightly been tweaking this little system, so let's get into that. Still using the Uni Jetstream multi-barreled pen. I love this pen because it is multi-barreled and I have pencil on here as well, so all I have to carry is this. However, my handwriting is just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know why it makes my handwriting look like chicken scratch even more than it already is, but it does. It is what it is, and I'm just moving on because I do like it. I don't know. In my passport, Camel, I have this one insert, and I went ahead and I took out the innards. So I had been slipping in a weekly, and now I'm kind of over it. I didn't print one out for the third week of the year. We're in 2026 in case you're watching this in the future. So now I'm just currently using this for some lists and things that I want to carry on the go to remind me of things, because I wasn't looking in my bigger, what's it called, commonplace notebook planner thing. I mean, I was, but not for smaller things. So I started writing in here, and the first list in here is, if you have 5 minutes, you should. And here's a list of the things that I should be doing. Past that, I do have this. So I am just, writing a to-do list in here and checking it off some days. And then other days I'm writing when I started it and when I finished it. It just really depends, you guys. I am just, here, let me zoom in so you can see a little bit better. I know that it feels like it's super bright in here because I have the light on. I hope that you can see this a little bit somewhat. I don't know how to turn things off right now. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of working a little bit when I remember to open it. And I forgot to carry it with me for a couple of days. I forgot to just shove this in my purse, so I didn't have it with me on the go. And I've been out of the house a few days out of the past week and change. So it is what it is. But I have this. I'm still giving it a go. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's just one insert. I don't know that I need more. I'm still doing some meal planning and things because I'm working on health in the middle on sticky notes. I just don't feel like I need anything bigger or more temporary at this point. So that's this little guy. And I'm going to try harder with that one. I really, really am. Then we have my 2026 A6 Vertical Weekly. What do they call this? The supplement or something like that? I don't know. It sounds like a pill. Anyway, I went ahead and I did a mixture. All right, so the first week, if you remember, I failed at keeping my little chart in here of all of the things that I like to keep track of. And so I thought, well, maybe I should, draw out my schedule for the week and see how that works. And if I add to things or whatever, books that I have on deck over here. That didn't work. Past me, filling it out the first time, I didn't do anything with it. So I moved on from there to this, which is a combination of schedule. So when I wake up to about noon, that's when the most important things really happen for me. And then after that, I just have my chart here of my audiobook, physical book, TV shows, and then meal planning here because I got rid of the middle meal planning in here. And I love that I bought it because you only have to buy it once and I can always go back to it anytime I want to. I just wanted to see if I could keep that stuff in here with a somewhat modified layout. Combination of the two. Down here I have my little chart for just cleaning, which I already had drawn out in the other insert, which was really nice, but this didn't take too long to set up, so it's just not that serious. Up at the top I have what my main focus is for the day, and then 3 things that I really want to get done. We'll see how this goes and if it works. And I used pen instead of pencil because this was a little bit lighter and I feel like this looks a little bit sharper and neater. This was a little wild for me, all of the color. And this stupid highlighter, You can kind of see through. The light is so bright in here. Can you see it there? I can see it. And I wasn't sure if it was bleeding through or it's just literally that bright. You can just see through to the next page, but I hate it. So I'm not ever going to use that in here, and I made a mental note of that. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. Today is Monday, so I have a kind of set up one thing I know, a timing for tomorrow. I don't have too many meetings this week. I think I have possibly 2, and I want to wait until tomorrow to make sure that I confirm them because one of them is a Zoom meeting. And so, yeah. We're going to see how this works out, but I'm still giving it a go and I'm still, opening it and trying to look at it. All right, that brings us down to this guy. I'm just going to shove this underneath here to make this a little more even Stevens because this is a thick girl and we're at the very, very beginning. All right, so as I mentioned, we are in week 3 of the new year. I can't even already believe that. This is kind of crazy. I know. You're probably not used to seeing a lot of color on most of my spreads. That started in my last planner, which was like a $5 planner from Walmart, which I really love with all the butterflies on it. And I carried it on into here. I don't hate it. I just don't love it because these are pretty muted colors in comparison, but it still looks kind of bright with all of the color. I don't need, who cares? You don't care. The point of me showing you my monthly is this is working out okay. I wish the boxes were bigger because my other planner, they were large and I just love them. I am not utilizing the bottom at all here, you guys. I thought about putting cleaning here, but it just naturally just always goes with everything else, like any chart I have. So I have it in here. I had put some stuff down here to check off. I did one today. And that was it. I'm just really not looking at this at all down here, you guys. It's just not something I'm interested in pursuing. So I'm either going to use this to write notes or something else down here at the bottom, or put little sticky notes, to cover it because I hate it too much. Like these smaller ones. I forget what size these are. These are like 1 and something. 1.5, I don't know. Because those will fit and cover this nicely too. Or I can just put large sticky notes like this down here at the bottom, and it's just not that serious because I don't care and I don't want to. So are you also like, how are you doing with your trackers and your charts? Are those working out well for you? I thought I would do a Gantt chart and it's just not who I am. I naturally don't even try it. I might start fresh in February just to give it another go, because it's taken me, 2 weeks of failing before I really think I've found a combination system that's going to work for me in there. So we'll see how it goes. As far as the dailies are concerned, I've been looking for patterns. So in the center here, I tend to put my to-do list, and if it runs over, I allow it to. It's just not that serious. Over in the corner, I tend to put like the word of the day. Sometimes like here, they were words I already knew, but I wrote them down just because I felt like I had to, and then I stopped doing that, and I was like, it's okay to just skip the words you either already know or you don't feel like you want to use more often. Because sometimes it's like a word I already know, but I'm like, you should use that more. So I write it down to remind myself. Quotes are usually going up at the top, but also I've been putting little riddles because my niece was looking at something and she started reading riddles off, and so then I started looking them up, just to have something funny to put there to look back on. Still having some white space, and I'm letting it go. I'm just letting go that we have white space. It's just not that serious. Some days are busier than others. Down at the bottom, I'm just kind of putting final thoughts of the day, anything I wanted to remember, stuff like that. Up here in the corner, I have tried to do like specific to-dos. So this was a filming day, so I needed to get a couple of things done for that. I wanted to look up Instagram because I am terrible about Instagram. Like, I know there's so many things you can do and utilize on there, and I just don't. So I was looking up some videos and checking off things that I was learning, and then I was marking off stuff that I moved somewhere else. Still having some white space here. Usually the center part, let me see if I can find a blank one. Okay, so I've been marking off when I usually wake up, which is 5 a.m., part of the 5 a.m. club. Sometimes it's like 4:30, and then sometimes my brain's like, let's just get up at 2 and stay up until, it's time for bed again, because, yeah. And then I end up marking it off at 1700 hours, which is 5 o'clock. And I think that's a nice chunk here for me to put like my to-dos here and any kind of a major schedule I need to focus on if I need the schedule. I haven't been sticking to writing a schedule every day, mostly like here and here. If I have an appointment, like I helped my niece with a concession and then we had family dinner over here, I just kind of mark that on the right hand side in the scheduling area, but I don't feel like I need to fill this up if I don't want to, which is part of the reason why I was like, I need to try and combine my schedule here for the things I really need to get done or anything I want to actually write down as, hey, this is scheduled, you have to do it on this specific day and this specific time in here. And then possibly just have more space for notes about my days or, you know, more to-dos on the page. But again, it just depends. Some days are heavier than others. It's just not that serious. I know a lot of people panic about this when they have daily pages and they're like, this one whole page is not enough, so I have to size up to a bigger size. By the way, this is a Jibun Techo in the B6 slim size, so they do have a larger size in A5 slim, and I've tried that in the past. It's not something I carry with me. I was hoping maybe I'd carry this with me at some point. I'm using the crap out of it. Haven't really carried it with me, haven't needed to, and that's okay. These were lighter days, so it's still like, am I sad that I didn't get the A5? No, not really, because I'm still having some white space on some days, and other days when it's just heavier, if I really need to, I can just always, you know, use a sticky note and just leave the sticky note on there. It's just not that serious. Or I can go ahead and use a page in here and then just use the date to mark this as a page. So I can just put you know, January or 1/8, and then I would know that that's what day the notes continue off of, and that will work just fine. It's just not that serious, or it hasn't been thus far. Also, I don't keep my writing notes in here, so that's the only thing that would really probably overflow this. Yeah, but it's been pretty nice, I would say. Highly recommend. I love the paper. It kind of reminds me, not necessarily of the Hobonichi, like the, what's it called? Tomoe River paper. That's the word I was looking for. You know how you have that Bible-y thin paper and it kind of starts to crinkle when you write on it? Not necessarily like that, probably more like the Stology paper, but it's really nice, and it just makes that nice crinkly sound when you're like flipping through it, and you can feel like the little indentations from the pen. There's something nice about pages that you've already used in that way, especially when you're flipping through. Yeah, and everything is just, it's working out pretty okay. So this right hand corner up here is usually for my wordage, and I usually put a quote at the top, if not a riddle. There's been some days when I just haven't put anything, and that's okay too. I'm just like letting it go. I'm not feeling the need to have to fill every section or make sure that I have vocabulary or quote on every single page. It's just not that serious. I'm just doing it naturally and loving it. So going forward, I'm going to continue to do the same, just marking this with a pencil. If you can see this, I know it's so bright and white. I'm sorry. It's a dungeon in here. Sorry, my phone rang. Who saw that coming? Everyone. Yeah, so I've just been marking about a week ahead, depending, with the pencil marks. So it's already all divvied up. And so that gives me 2 boxes at the top, 2 in the middle, 2 at the bottom, then this long, you know, rectangle at the bottom, and then 1 long rectangle at the top. I still haven't been putting in the weather or anything in here. That has not been happening naturally. And I did make a note that, hey, maybe you should just, I mean, we've just had pretty cold weather here, but the sun is shining because it's a lie out there. I don't even know. So there's not any like amazing weather or change in weather to note per se. I've been putting sticky notes on very busy days just so that I don't forget, or like sometimes the day before a busy day so that I remember to prep and get things ready for that specific meeting or what have you. And that's been working out really well for me. The only thing, like I mentioned, that's just giving me a little bit of a headache because I keep forgetting to carry and use it is this cute little book. And it's just so darn adorable that I don't want to give up on it yet. So I'm going to give it 1 more week, and it might be as simple as me taking it out of the cover. And if you've ever had a cover on something, you probably understand, or you've been a planner for a while, you know that sometimes a cover even though it's adorable, can keep you from using something. And then you take the cover off and all of a sudden, boom, you're using it like crazy. So that might be it. And I might just, you know, shove it in the pocket here or, you know, something. The other thing I can do is just go back to these guys, which I love. These are by MD Paper. And I can just take, you know, some sticky notes off the bottom. I call them sticky notes. Sorry, they're not sticky, but they are little note pages. I'm not always a fan because this is so, like, god-awful. Like, it's a cream color against this white paper, and it's just not attractive. It's like yellow teeth against white teeth or something. I don't even know. But, you know, not that serious. And I can just go ahead and pin this to the day with extra to-dos and then move it with me every single day, because that's what I used to do in my other planners, and that worked really, really well for me. If you guys know of another, like, really awesome notepad that has square grid, you know, by someone else that's white, let me know. That sounded racist. I don't even know. So usually what I do, I had this marked so I wouldn't forget to do the monthly thing, but I also have a sticky note at the end of the month. I have sticky notes everywhere. Is this your first time here? I am a sticky note champion. Right here to go back to the beginning and fill this out. Here's still December, not filled out. Haven't done that. Probably forgetting all the things that I accomplished. But I put a note there to remind me that that's something I should probably do. Anyway, I should be moving this day to day. I haven't been because, of course, I left it, I think, in the other room. This has a writing board that says today on it, and I've just been using that to hold my place. But this is what I'm talking about here. So I can put this on the day I'm on and then slide this in. And then I can see my to-dos. Now, obviously we're still on this day, but I can, you know, move it over to this side as well, and just have it over here. And I think I have another one of these guys somewhere. I do. Okay, yay. And I'll just put it at the top. That way I know that this is not the day I'm on, but it can hold my little piece of paper. And I'll just put it here and see if naturally I start putting to-dos here, and that works better for me than opening the cover that's so darn adorable that I really want to use. Okay, I've got that there just in case, but I have this, and as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go put this in my purse so that I don't forget to carry it with me, and just to have a cute little notebook on the go with me everywhere I am, and then hopefully that will help me. Now, here's what probably is gonna happen. I'm gonna put this in my purse, forget to look there, and be like, come sit down at my desk and be like, where's my pen? And I have many of these over the years that I've purchased, some from Hobonichi. I don't think this was a Hobonichi buy. This was probably from Jet Pens, you know, that I could probably carry with me, but then it doesn't have the pencil. So I might have to get another one of these. No, I'm not going to reward myself until I get a handle on things. Maybe then I'll buy myself a new one of these in a different color. That's probably what's going to happen. Probably not. I'm probably just going to go buy it after this because now I've got it in my head. Oh, Sylvia. My Amazon addiction is real. All right, so that's everything. I don't know that this was helpful, other than, you know, more evidence to commit me one day. But I am working on it, and I haven't completely failed at anything. You have not completely failed at anything. Even if you're changing and tweaking things, we're okay. We're doing fine. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope this was helpful. It probably wasn't. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.